Today's video is all about making one of the most luxurious vanilla bean pastes that you can make, much better than any store-bought version. It's super simple, so let's just get stuck in and see how easy it is. Yeah, a staple in the ice cream world is vanilla extract. It's, used in everything. Vanilla beans are often, targeted for luxury recipes, whatever that means. And vanilla bean is targeted as that luxury version because you get the seeds inside. So you get that vanilla bean caviar, as it's sometimes known, in your recipes. Now, in vanilla ice cream, which is still one of the top 5 flavors in the world, it makes a big difference. If you buy the super cheap crap from the supermarket, it's a weird yellow color, which is artificial, and it has a very artificial vanilla kind of flavor. It's, vanilla essence rather than vanilla extract. You change that to vanilla extract, you get a much more natural vanilla flavor, which makes the difference. It goes from being store-bought junk to, artisan ice cream. You take that jump again and you go to vanilla beans, and you go from standard artisan ice cream to luxury artisan ice cream. The difference being with vanilla bean and vanilla bean paste is the vanilla bean paste has the actual bean itself completely disintegrated into this mix. So you have a lot of beans go into making vanilla bean paste. You have all of that vanilla flavor which you lose by discarding the bean. It's now in your vanilla bean paste. You get all of the seeds, you get all of those black flecks throughout your ice cream, whatever flavor it is. And it's not just reserved for vanilla flavor ice cream or vanilla flavor whatever it is. Vanilla is a flavor booster, so it enhances other flavors as well, like salt does. So you can use it in savory dishes. Much like chocolate and coffee boosts the chocolate flavor. So next time you make a hot chocolate or a hot cocoa, add a 1/4 teaspoon of coffee to it and see what it does. You can also, if you don't want to do the coffee, add just a touch of salt. That will bring that chocolate flavor forward. Put vanilla bean paste in there. Just a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla bean paste in a really nice big mug of hot chocolate or hot cocoa. The difference is astounding. So with that in mind, how easy actually is it to make? I mean, really easy. So what are you going to need? Let's get all this stuff out of the way. First things first, you're going to need a sterilized bottle, jar, container, whatever it is you're going to use. Just make sure it's been thoroughly cleaned, because this is going to last years. All right. Vanilla extract will last almost indefinitely because it's made predominantly with alcohol, if that's the one you've gone for. If you've gone for a glycerin version, again, it will just last forever. Vanilla beans do go off, but it does take a while. And much the same as a vanilla bean paste. I like to store mine in the fridge. This is, version 195 million. It's been in the fridge. This came over from the UK. It's bulletproof. And when you open it up and you smell it, it's incredible. It's thick, it's luxurious, the smell is out of this world. So what do we need? Stop talking, Jones. We need our scales. So we're going to start with 70 grams of vanilla beans, okay? Now I'll show you what that equates to. 70 grams of vanilla beans, that is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 17 vanilla beans. These are grade B, I'd say. They're not grade A because there's not a lot of moisture left in them, but they're still plump enough to mold between your fingers. So if you pick up a vanilla bean and it's hard, through and through hard, then that's I don't know if there was a grade C, I don't know, but that's probably one to avoid because there's no moisture left in your bean, so you don't have a lot of that flavour. If you can pick it up between your fingers and just squeeze it just gently, and it gives enough that it starts to mold within your fingers, you've still got a good amount of moisture in there, okay? Grade A can be twice as thick as this, but they are incredibly expensive. I mean, all vanilla is expensive. I already smell like vanilla. That's never a bad thing. So we've got our beans there, okay? You can halve this, quarter this, whatever it is. You don't need to make 500 grams, 500 milliliters of vanilla bean paste. I'm just showing you how to do it. With our pan on our scale, we need 280 grams of water from the world's worst pouring jug. Thanks, Canadian Tire. 280 grams of water, and to that we're going to add in 160 grams of sugar. Don't worry if you go over on the sugar, doesn't make any difference. It actually will make it thicker. It will be a touch sweeter, but it won't be noticeable because you're going to be putting it in other recipes. So it will just make it thicker. It will make that sugar syrup thicker. That's what we're creating here. Now into that as well, we're going to add 50 grams of corn syrup. What does the corn syrup do? Well, when you create a sugar syrup, you're going to the process of creating an invert sugar. Invert sugars can recrystallize. That's a standard thing. Corn syrup, which is a slightly different mix of glucose and fructose, will stop that recrystallization, or it will slow it down. If something like honey crystallizes in the jar, that's kind of what's happening. The sugar crystals are just forming those bonds again. You heat it up and it dissipates. Honey is a natural source of glucose and fructose. Honey is like a dirty invert sugar. I mean, it's not, dirty. It's just got other stuff in it, natural stuff. But that's what it is. It's an invert sugar. So we've got our water, our sugar, and our corn syrup in here. We're going to get this on the hob and just tick this over at a medium-low heat. And whilst we're doing that, we'll get rid of this. We need to chop our vanilla beans. Today is a morning where I've made blueberry ice cream, protein ice cream, vanilla bean paste, all in one morning. So there's stuff everywhere. So we're going to chop these up. I personally like to cut the end off of the vanilla beans purely because that can sometimes be quite hard and doesn't blend up very well. Like so, and now we've got our straight beans. Get a small knife, and we want to split these. So we've got our vanilla beans split in half. We're now just going to chop them up into relatively small pieces. These are kind of, 5 millimeters, something like that, There we go, chopped up. All these little black flecks are the vanilla seeds. So we don't really want to waste those. Now, we're going to just take our pan back off the heat. And we're going to give it a little bit of a stir. We're going to put our chopped vanilla beans in our syrup. A quick stir of that. It's going to go back on the heat now. That medium-low heat, and we're just going to let it tick over until we've reduced it down to a thick syrup. This was cooking down for about 45 minutes, super low, just enough so that it's got some, bubbling on the top, and it's starting to just cool down, which means it's thickening up a bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our things ready. You can use either whatever container you've got. We've got a bottle, we've got a kiln, a jar. I'm going to use the jar. And you want a blender of some kind or a food processor, because what we're going to do is blitz this in our food processor. So you need to make sure that this has cooled down enough, because you need to put it in here. Make sure you push through any remaining liquid out of your beans. Right, I'm not, as you know from this channel, I'm not afraid of showing things that go wrong. This little KitchenAid mixer was apparently got the capacity to deal with this. It doesn't. The heat from the mix that was maintained as it was being blended up increased the amount of air, which then pushed it out the top, etc, etc, etc. But what we are left with here is a gloriously dark, let me give you a little close-up shot, a gloriously dark, oh come on, there we go, vanilla bean paste. And man, everything's making a noise today. And we are going to pour that in here, and don't waste all this. Get that out, get those seeds in there as well, just like that. And there we have a vanilla bean paste. It will stiffen in the refrigerator, so in that goes. There's enough vanilla bean paste there for a good long while. There we go. Vanilla explosions and everything. It's surprisingly easy to make that. If you've got a big food processor, that's perfect for doing this because it will deal with this size, no problems at all. You could probably use a blender, you know, like a smoothie blender as well. You just need to leave it going for a good while, and that's pretty much it. You don't have to waste this either. This is the remnants of the vanilla beans. You can dry that out back in the oven, and then you can put that in other food as well. Don't waste all of this stuff. You can pretty much use everything that's come out of this process. So in the fridge this goes, and vanilla bean paste for you. Hopefully you enjoyed this random little touch and vanilla explosion that occurred. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.